welcome back to C1 Novel and Vocab Week 13, and this video is for A Cricket Kind of Perfect, our new book. Yeah, I'm so excited. So let's get started. This video will be talking about the difficult phrases from our novel, and this is for cultural fluency. By becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate and use these phrases to convey their ideas more precisely. So, today's video will be going over the first section. This is for pages 1 through 42. Again, this is for A Cricket Kind of Perfect. So let's get started. So here, I want us to go to page 1. Let's go to page 1. Okay, I'm going to start from the very beginning, okay? How it was supposed to be. I was supposed to play the piano. The piano is a beautiful instrument. Elegant, dignified. People wear ball gowns and tuxedos to hear the piano. With the piano, you could play Carnegie Hall. You could wear a tiara. You could come out on stage wearing gloves up to your elbows. You could pull them off one finger at a time. So, first, what is Carnegie Hall? Later on page 28, please turn to page 28, it gives you a description about what Carnegie Hall was, if you didn't notice. In the bottom half, it says, who is Carnegie Hall? Who is Carnegie Hall? Emma asked. Carnegie Hall is not a person, it is a place, I told her. In New York City, it's the most glamorous, most important, most famous concert hall in the world. So, Carnegie Hall, as you can see in these pictures, is kind of like a concert hall where they have a big stage with a piano and lots of seats in the audience for people to come and watch. Okay? There are probably some different types of music halls here in Busan. I'm not quite sure of what they are because I've never been, but maybe you have and you can share with me later. But first, we're going to go through this sentence here. I wanted to explain to you what Carnegie Hall was, but I figured that it also told you what it was later on in the book. So instead, let's look at this sentence. It says, with the piano, you could play Carnegie Hall. Don't you feel like something's missing here? Anyone? What's missing in this sentence? If you said a preposition is missing, you may be correct. It says, with the piano, you could play at Carnegie Hall or in Carnegie Hall. It would be one of those. So, imagine you have a really special talent, like playing the piano really well. With the piano, you could play Carnegie Hall. They mean that if you're really good at playing the piano, you could perform at this place, Carnegie Hall, which is a famous and prestigious concert hall in New York City that we just talked about on page 28. Now, about the missing preposition here between play and Carnegie Hall. Let's think about it this way. Sometimes when we talk about doing something really cool or amazing, we don't always need to use a preposition like at or in to show where we're doing it. Instead, we just say the action and then the place. So in this sentence, it says play Carnegie Hall. It means perform at Carnegie Hall. It's just a shorter way to say the same thing. So, we're using play as a verb here, which means to perform music. Okay. However, let's think of another example. If I were to say, oh, she's so good at playing soccer, she could play, I forgot the place here. Or she's so good at baseball, she could play that stadium in Busan. I'm having a brain fart right now. A brain fart means when I completely forget what I'm about to say. So instead of saying she could play at that baseball stadium, you can just say play and then say the name of the baseball stadium. However, without the preposition here is more commonly in spoken language or informal writing, where clarity and shortness are often, prioritized, or they say that's better than just having strict grammar rules. But in formal writing, such as academic essays or the essays that you're writing for MI, it's generally better to include the preposition to make sure that you have your grammatical correctness and clarity. So again, let me wrap it up. Although it's acceptable to say in colloquial speech, as I said before, in just talking and informal writing, you can just say play Carnegie Hall. However, when you're writing something, you should definitely have the preposition. You may have not caught this, however, it's something fun to see. Very good. Now let's go to page 10. Let's go to page 10. It says here, sorry, that should say page 11. That's why I couldn't find it right now. Page 11. Let's start from my philosophy is simple as the second indent on page 11. It says, my philosophy is simple. My method revolutionary, said Lester Rennett. Save it for the brochures, grumbled Mr. Faber. This is your More with Less songbook. The cover featured an out-of-focus photo of Lester Rennett surrounded by kids who appeared to be holding up homemade accordions. Simple, it said. Revolutionary. Mr. Rennett told us to turn to the back of the More with Less songbook. There we would find the revolution. And then here's the quote. What I found was a piece of perforated cardboard folded over on itself a couple of times. There was a piano key designed printed along the bottom edge. Voila, said Mr. Rennett. Voila. The More with Less paper keyboard. Paper keyboard. The blurry kids on the songbook weren't holding accordions at all. So here, this is when also the title of this short part is called On Paper, which was our little hint. But first, I wanted to explain two things here. More with less. More with less is a play on words of a slogan related to the character named Lester Rennett. So less is short for Lester. So here, it's associated with creating or providing more than expected, perhaps in terms of creativity or resourcefulness. As for the less, only having one S in this quote is just like a little short saying. He's saying more with me, less Rennett. So more with less. However, the phrase more with less generally refers to achieving greater results of productivity or effectiveness with fewer resources or inputs. It emphasizes the idea of making a lot of creativity to accomplish some goals and solve problems only using a little bit of things. Therefore, you're doing more with Lester Rennett with this paper keyboard. So you can get more and more and more, however, with less resources. The paper keyboard. So that was just a little bit a play on words. More with less, meaning you can do more with less. However, here it's also making a little slogan for Lester Rennett. Here, I also wanted to talk about voila. Voila is a French word that is often used in English too. It's an exclamation that is used to draw attention or introduce something that's new or something that's a bit surprising. It's kind of saying ta-da! Or there you go in English. For example, if you're showing someone a magic trick and you want to reveal the final result, you would say voila to show them. Or if you finish cooking a delicious meal and you're presenting the food to your friend, you can say, voila, my famous chicken soup. Okay, so basically voila is a fun and fancy way to show and present something and just to show a little bit of excitement. So Lester Rennett was very excited and saying voila and showing the paper keyboard. That's why Zoe says, voila, are you sure that's really a good thing? Awesome. That was page 11, not page 10. And now let's go to page 14. 14. The title was called 432. And let's go with the second paragraph. And we're basically talking about how Zoe's dad loves to go shopping and he buys a little bit too much when he goes shopping. That's why they have 432 rolls of toilet paper at home. So let's look at the second paragraph. You ready? It says, we have 432 rolls of toilet paper because my dad went shopping by himself. Dad is not supposed to go shopping by himself. But sometimes he gets all worked up about how he should be able to go shopping like everybody else. And then he gets to the store and there are lots of people around, and if it is noisy or there are flashing lights, like maybe a blue flashing light announcing an extra special limited time offer on toilet paper, my dad gets really jittery. And if somebody notices and tells him something like, this is a blah 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 blah, and goes on. Gets all worked up. That is not supposed to go shopping by himself, but sometimes he gets all worked up. What does it mean to get all worked up? This is an idiom. It's an expression used to describe someone becoming agitated, upset, angry. It means they're getting really emotional or worked up about a particular situation. This idiom likely comes from the idea of someone getting so emotionally involved in a situation that they see a physical response, as if they're being worked up like a machine. So, imagine someone is telling a story about a time that they're waiting for an important phone call. They might say, I was getting all worked up waiting for the phone call because I really needed to hear back about the job. So it's like really getting nervous and like, I have so many emotions. Emotion, which is one of your vocabulary words, and you should know what it means. Here, I also like to talk about why this word above my head, should, is italicized. If you look in the book, the should is a bit slanted. Italicizing should. So in the novel, when it's italicized, which means it's slanted, it's often used to emphasize the idea of obligation, expectation, or duty. In this particular quote, it's emphasizing the obligation, like the should, having to do it. Meaning the dad was like, how he gets really emotional and he gets really angry about how he should be able to go shopping. So when you read these words that are italicized and slanted, make sure you put a bit more of emphasis into it when you're reading, because the author wanted to make it a little bit more important. So, in summary, gets worked up means to get really agitated or emotional or upset. And should here is because it's trying to highlight the dad's belief that he should be able to go shopping. So here in the picture, I have a man that's really angry and others who are shopping. Let's go to page 18. I'm sure you've already noticed, but if you didn't understand already, right now Zoe was playing, she really wants to play the piano, but then she gets a paper piano. And then her dad buys her something else. The Perfect Tone D60 comes with a helpful brochure. It says so right on the cover. This helpful brochure explains the exciting features of your Perfect Tone D60. And this is on page 18. It's basically saying what this is. And what is it? It's an organ. 2 keyboards. As you can see, here's more of a real electric organ that you can play with at home. And then there's 2 keyboards on the top and on the bottom. And this is our little cartoon picture. So basically, this Perfect Tone D60 is just a description of what an organ is. It's the name of that brand. So if you were to read here, it has 2 keyboards, 24 rhythm styles, to polka, to samba, to march, and 11 tempos, like different tempos of rhythms, and or choose metronome. It has an ultra gold speaker covers. It's a luxuriously realistic walnut veneer, meaning the color of it, walnut, the brown, and 36 orchestra-like sounds: the flute, the oboe, the marimba, the violin, tuba, bassoon, piano, and more. So if you can see in this photo, the picture here, there's different buttons here. So these buttons give you the different sounds of the organ. So this is not exactly what Zoe really wanted to play at home. Not at all. Let's go to page 23. 23. I would like to go to the bottom half. It says, I loosen up my fingers. Look at the indent there. I loosen up my fingers, giving each one a pull and a wiggle, and then unfold my keyboard while Miss Person tucks her novel into her purse. Monkey Waltz by Lester Rennett, I say, and then I begin. I give it my all, eager to impress upon Maybelline Person that I am a gifted musician. Even if I am only playing Monkey Waltz, I know my innate talent will shine, showing her that I, unlike the dull and uninspired children she is forced to teach, am a star. A chosen one, a perfect prodigy, worthy of a shiny black baby grand piano. Great mother of Mozart, says Maybelline Person. That was really something. She is wiping a tear from her eye. Apparently, Monkey Waltz has touched her deeply. Perhaps you could try again on an instrument that produces sound. I fold up my paper keyboard and turn to the Perfect Tone D60. So here, she was trying to show her awesome piano skills, and she was so good, but really, did it make any noise? No, because she was playing the paper piano. But here, great mother of Mozart, and that was really something here. I would like to express that this is being said sarcastically. Great mother of Mozart, that was really something. She's wiping a tear from her eye, maybe because she was laughing a bit too much. She was definitely not crying and saying that this was such a great performance. But first, when we say great mother of something, it's likely we're expressing a really big surprise or amazement. When we say great mother of, it's like saying wow or oh my goodness. It's just a fancy way to show that we're really impressed or amazed by something. However, here, Miss Person is not really impressed. However, the word mother in this phrase adds a sense of importance and power. Like we're calling on a strong force to emphasize your reaction. You know, like when you call your mom when you need help or when something surprising happens. It's kind of like that, but we're using it to show how surprised and impressed we are. And then we add like a famous person's name, like Mozart, here in the book Mozart, because we're talking about the piano. Or you can say Einstein for one if it's a math or science prodigy. You say, wow, this is amazing, just as this person did, just as Mozart did. But we're saying, but it's even bigger, the great mother of Mozart, meaning even better than Mozart. So basically, it's just a really strong way of expressing our amazement, surprise, or awe, and it adds a little bit of drama to our reaction, making it sound more exciting here. Here, that was really something, the next part. When someone says that was really something, they're expressing admiration or appreciation, or they're just saying, oh my gosh, that was so great. It's a way of recognizing the significance or impact of what had just happened. So here, she's saying that she was really deeply touched by it, but in my sense of this part of the book, I think she's being a bit sarcastic. Because, again, she was playing the paper piano, and she says, maybe you could play it again on something that has sound. So she's saying, wow, that was great, awesome. But maybe you can play it on something that makes sound. She's being a bit sarcastic. So the next time you're like, you see someone that's really good at the piano, you can be like, oh, great mother of Mozart, you're so good. That was really something, without meaning it sarcastically. Let's go to the next one. Page 26. Page 26. I'll start from the top. It says, my shoulders and sing float like a butterfly while I play the monkey waltz on the Perfect Tone D60. At first, this is distracting. Then, it is annoying. I tell my dad to cut it out, and he says, that's right, get mad, get tough, fight through the pain. But first, what does it mean to cut it out? Is Zoe telling her dad to cut something out of the paper? What was he doing? He was being really annoying, right? Cut it out here means that they want them to stop. Okay? Cut it out is saying, I don't want you to do it anymore. Please stop bothering me and go away. In America, we would be, without even saying anything, would say, it's like a little motion. You say, cut it, what you're doing, and then out of here. So one time, I believe my friends and I were being a bit too loud in class, and my teacher looked at me and said, meaning, cut it out. Stop being talkative and pay attention. So here Zoe is telling her dad to cut it out and stop being annoying. You can definitely use this in your own English talking conversations. Here, the same page, it says, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, later on. Dad is going through his little boxing living room university, right? He's learning how to be a boxer in this chapter. But here, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee is actually a very famous phrase associated with the legendary boxer Muhammad Ali. It's kind of like Muhammad Ali's fighting style and philosophy or mantra. These lines come from him who actually said it. So he has quick footwork, he's like being really fast, but graceful movements when he's also boxing and floating in the air. So that's what float like a butterfly means. However, he's also saying sting like a bee, which is Muhammad Ali's like punching power, right? Like be like super strong like a bee sting. So it's basically saying, like, although you can move nicely and move gracefully like a butterfly, you should have a good sting to your punch. Here, in the context of the novel, when the father is conducting his living room university for boxing, he's likely teaching or demonstrating boxing techniques, and he's kind of just really into his character of becoming a boxer. So it's basically just trying to be funny here. Dad's not really paying attention to what Zoe has to say about the monkey waltz or anything, and he's just kind of in his head about boxing a bit too much. So you may be like, why is he talking about float like a butterfly and sting like a bee? It's because this was said by Muhammad Ali, a very famous boxer, and right now in his living room university, he's learning how to be a boxing champion. That's quite funny. He has a lot of different living room university things. Let's go to page 29. This is quite sad. Okay, let's go to the middle. It says, but Emma. Are you there? Page 29. It says, but Emma is not sitting at our regular lunch table. She is 2 tables away, sharing a bag of snacky doodles with Joella Tinstella. Me and Joella are best friends now, Emma says. We hung out all Christmas vacation. She lives right in the east side, just a block away. You can sit with us until you find a new best friend if you want. If I had my paper keyboard, I could unfold it now and start practicing. It really wouldn't make a difference. I have gone over to the dork side. So, what does this mean, the dork side? This is a playful variation of the phrase, gone over to the dark side. This phrase, gone over to the dark side, is originally from the movie Star Wars. It's basically saying that this character has become really evil and whatnot. Just like this black picture on the very other side, that is Darth Vader with his red laser sword. He's on the dark side. But here, Zoe's saying that she's gone to the dork side. She's humorously admitting and saying that she's now kind of the loser. She's saying that she's gone to the side of where no one is, where she has no friends. And it's just basically saying that, oh no, I have no friends now because they left me. Emma Dent is not my best friend anymore. I've gone to the dork side. I'm a loser. A dork means a loser, having no friends. Not a very good word to say. However, it was funny how the author had used this I have gone over to the dork side and changed it from the original phrase from Star Wars, I have gone over to the dark side. Page 32. Page 32. I would like us to go at the very top. Okay. It says, and you don't play Beethoven either. Mostly you play old television theme songs from the Perfect Tone D60 lesson book. So it's not like a lesson book with great classical music. They just play like silly songs. Already I can play the Ballad of Gilligan's Isle and the Scooby-Doo theme. This week's lesson is the Brady Bunch song. It's kind of easy. I play it a bunch of times with the Perfect Tone D60's metronome switch on. And then I flip a switch labeled Western Swing. Basically, she's just playing like old TV show theme songs. That's pretty good, honey, says Dad. It sounds okay, I say. For an organ, I think. Want to hear it on Cha-Cha? Lay it on me, says Dad. Here, it says, it sounds okay, I say, for an organ. Again, for an organ is here, italicized and tilted. It's okay for a blah 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 is a way of giving a backhanded compliment or expressing mild praise, but also saying that it's not as good as other things. It's often used when something is considered decent. It's like, it's just okay. For example, here it's saying, this sounds okay. Yeah, the song's okay for an organ. I guess this organ is only going to be this great. Let me give you a different example. You can say, it's okay for a beginner. This phrase might be used to acknowledge someone's efforts or progress in learning a new skill, but also saying that they have a lot of room to improve. You can say, okay, yeah, your painting it's okay for a beginner. Keep practicing and you'll get even better. Or you can say, it's okay for your first attempt. It's saying that you might be saying, oh, it's a good job, but it can get better the next time you try it by yourself. It's saying, it's as good, but not quite as how good it would sound if it was on the actual piano here. So, there are many different types of phrases here in this book today. I wanted to have more, but I thought that there was not going to be enough time. This video already is so long. But it could be very confusing the first time you read this book. So I need you to review and reread again and again. Reading it out loud will help you understand this book so much more, okay? So now, it's time for you to review and self-study. And this is for contextual mastery. Review the phrases again. As I said, read it out loud. Reread the whole novel. It's only 42 pages. You can do it. And then complete your novel homework. There's no secret mission in this video. There will only be one secret mission per week. And it wasn't in this video. If you didn't catch it in the last one, please rewatch that one so you can find your secret mission. Okay? So thank you again for joining me this week. And I will hopefully see you guys in week 14. Bye! Thank you!